Hello again and welcome to your weekly sports report. I'm the Phenom, Anis Belham, and as always, I'm joined by my co-host,
Sunny Diol, the big man.
And special guest,
Grind, the one and only.
The one and only Grind. Breaking news. Just as we were starting the podcast, we got a trade alert. Go Kia trades Deepu Sandhu, Sunny Sarah, and Rami Boogie Ojla to Fancy Doors and Moldings for Jason Diol, Hinda Sandhu, and Naveen Dhaliwal. This is a very big trade that'll shake up both teams. But I believe one of them is your team, Grind.
Yes.
I want your reaction. What do you think of the new additions and the guys that you're shipping out? I know you got mixed emotions right now. You're going to change up your locker room and the makeup of your team. But what are your thoughts?
Yeah, so new team, and we have 2 games on. We have Saturday and Sunday, so bit of a shake-up here. I'll start with the guys that are leaving. Deepu, Sunny, Rami, great guys. Deepu's obviously a great player. Boogie and Sunny, good defenders. We're gonna miss them, but that's how the PBHL works sometimes, right? You just gotta make the trade. With the new guys, you have my regime teammate.
Yep.
Jason Diol. He's a good defender. He has experience. He's gonna be good back there. And we also have Hinda. So we have the new twin towers of the Go Kia, Hinda and Jason. And we have Naveen, who's a good guy who'll work hard. And strong additions to the team. What do you think, Biggie?
Yeah, it's an interesting trade. I have a soft spot for a couple of the guys in the league.
Right.
I've known Jason since I'm a little kid. That's my brother. I know Deepu for a long time. Yeah, sorry about to make a move. He had to shake it up. They're 3-6. Deepu's gonna miss games this weekend. They need players. Jason's a solid defender, man. Their defense is deep all of a sudden. Something they've struggled with all year. It's obviously tough to move a player like Deepu. He's a great player. But I just hope all the players have success with their new teams, and I hope it works out for both guys.
Right.
I hope it works out for Go Kia.
Well, obviously, yeah. Well, let's.
With your will.
Okay. Let's take a look back at the week that was. Week 9 looked to end the midway point of the season with a bang. This was the last week of games before the back-to-back Saturday-Sunday games started in July. Teams were looking to enter the back-to-backs on a positive note, and we saw that effort on the rink. Every game but one ended by 1 goal, 2 of them going into overtime, and 1 of those ending in a shootout. Big man, why don't you tell us some of your thoughts on the back-to-backs and some of the impact that this week's games had on that?
Yeah, the back-to-backs this week was crucial, affected by the back-to-backs. A lot of teams, you can't afford to give up those points and be in that situation where if you lose the back-to-backs, your back's
up against the wall?
Horribly against the wall. So teams came out hard, man. It was a competitive week, maybe one of the most competitive weeks I've seen in PBHL, all time.
Yeah.
And it showed that teams won those points this week.
Grind, now that your team has made this trade, how is it going to affect you guys going into the back-to-backs this weekend and beyond for the rest of the season? And let me know your thoughts on Fancy Doors and Moldings as well, the team that some of your teammates, former teammates now, are going to, and how they can help that team.
Well, first of all, my team just adds more desperation. We know we need to win, and now it's just more crucial. We have new guys who are going to have to fit in. Luckily, we all played with each other. We know how each other play.
Yeah.
So that's going to play a big factor. But I think just coming into our first game is against Eyes on 34th.
Yep.
They're a tough team, so we're going to have to show up.
Get pucks deep, make plays. Yeah.
Typical hockey cliches. I didn't want to say them. You said them for me. And then with Fancy Doors, with all the new guys, you have Deepu, who's a dynamic forward, like I said. He'll be teaming up with Arjun, AD, Civic, and their captain, Amit Man.
Yep.
So that team's you have to watch out for them now. They got a prolific offense. You got a good defense. You have Jeevan back there and Harsal Josan, and you have Joe Sandu in net. So interesting things to come with that team.
Sounds good. Let's take a look at some of the game recaps over the course of Week 9. Gokia and Dillon Insurance both entered the week hoping to bounce back from losses the week before, with Gokia looking to jump back into a playoff spot after falling out last week. Dillon Insurance got off to a good start, scoring the first 3 goals. Gokia tried to fight back, but they fell short, scoring the last 2 of the games, dropping another spot this week into last place and out of the playoffs, but they were already out of the playoffs. Dillon Insurance remains in 3rd place after the victory. Biggie, why don't you tell us a little bit more about this game?
Yeah, it was an important game for Gokia, but they didn't come out how I suspected them to. It kind of was like a feel-out game to start early. Dillon's Insurance, they upped the level sooner than Gokia did.
Yeah.
He got out to a big lead. Rajbir Lefty Greywall, the goalie, he made 3 big saves to bring it back in, and then you felt Gokia's energy go up. They came back in the game. They almost brought it back. And they scored 2. They had a power play late. Their captain got hurt. Sarb got hurt. It would have made a difference. After the goal by our man Grind, they got if they would have scored in that power play going to overtime, it would have been a completely different situation. That point would have kept them in a tie at least.
Yeah, it was close. We had a bad first 5 minutes was good. We had a bad story of our season so far. Just a bad 5-6 minutes.
Yeah.
That's what happens if you got to keep it consistent through a game. So we got to learn how to play the full 36 minutes or whatever it is, give or take.
Yeah, it's important to know how long the game is so you can play the entire time.
And now the pressure's on. You can't. There's 2 games this weekend. You have to win at least 1. You can't go 3-8. You're in trouble if you did.
Sounds good. Next up, we had the battle of the 4th and 5th place teams as Pizza 38 took on Fancy Doors and Moldings, with Pizza 38 holding a 1-point lead in the standings. Both teams battled neck and neck in a back-and-forth affair, eventually going into overtime tied at 3. Overtime solved nothing, though, and we headed into the shootout where Fancy Doors and Moldings star Arjun Dhaliwal finished it off, moving Fancy Doors and Moldings into 4th place and Pizza 38 into 5th due to the tiebreaker. Biggie, what happened?
You know, it started off with a high-tempo game. They were going back and forth. Pizza 38 scored first. Our boy, Mitu Sweetness Gill, tied the game.
Friend of the show.
Batting it out. Actually, it was a nice goal. He batted out in midair. It was tied at half. And the second half, it changed, man. Pizza 38 got in penalty. And this is a problem they've had all year. Discipline. They got into penalty problems. Fancy started... The pressure started going one way. But credit to Pizza 38, even against the grain, they battled back each time. They were able to tie the game. They took it to overtime. They exchanged chances in overtime. Could have went either way. Pizza 38 could have finished it. Fancy could have finished it. At the end of the day, when it came to the shootout, Fancy had the best player and he won the game.
Great shootout move from AD there.
Oh, it was beautiful. Yeah. Beautiful move.
This is, big win by Fancy, and now coming off this trade, I think they'll have a forward momentum going into the second half of the season. Should be fun to watch.
Okay. We had another game of teams separated by 1 point in Week 9. Henry Singer looking to jump over Vacuums R Us, who were a little... short-staffed, we'll call it, short-handed, if you will, this week, missing several key players, including Captain Bobby Banga. But the short-handed Vacuums R Us were able to execute their game plan, making Henry Singer play at their tempo, and ended up pulling out a 4-1 victory. Henry Singer remains in the 8th and final playoff spot, but they would be disappointed with this outcome, mainly due to the fact that they couldn't take advantage against a short-handed team. So, on the other hand, though, Vacuums are us now wins in back-to-back weeks where they were shorthanded. So that's some resiliency from a team that was missing some key contributors and still managed to pull out the wins. And looks like they're a team on the rise, especially if they start to get some healthy bodies back. So, big man, what do you think?
Yeah, obviously Vacuums is my team. These last 2 weeks has been a good stretch for us in a lot of areas. This week we were really short. But we had a game plan. We were able to go out and execute it. We were led by our guys, KD and Gerp. They've been taking a leadership role. They've been taking an offensive role. They did it once again. Everybody jumped in. Jason here. All the guys, man. Everybody worked hard. Pert scored a goal. I have to shout out Pert 10. He's a glue guy. He's not a goal scorer.
Another regime boy.
He had a nice tip. Yeah, we'll talk about regime later too. It was a big moment for us. So it was a big win, man. It's been a big few weeks, man. I think we have a lot to build on. Our team chemistry is very high. We get along very well. It's exciting. On the other side, obviously it wasn't the result they wanted. But for a player on the team, Rodney Thumney, who's a great player, second all-time leading scorer in PBHL.
Right.
He struggled to start the season, not because he's played bad. He's actually been playing good. I've been watching him. He's been getting scoring chances a lot. He's been playing his game.
It's just not going in for him.
He finally scored a goal. I think that's going to be good for the second half of the season. I see him bouncing back and having some good numbers going forward.
A tough loss for Henry Singer here, but they got good players. They're still in the playoff spot, barely hanging on, but it's going to be a big weekend for them. They got to prove that they deserve to be in a playoff spot, and they got to look forward. They got to want to not just hang on for the 7-8 spot. They got to want to climb up, right? Like nobody's safe in the PBHL.
Yeah, they got to pull out 2 wins here on this weekend. That's essentially what you're saying. 2 teams coming with winning streaks went head to head, and something had to give. Art Customs Homes coming in, winning 2 straight, looking to get into the playoff spot for the first time this season with a win. And Gallows and Company, having won 3 straight leading up to this contest, faced each other. It was another game that was hard fought, both teams battling toe-to-toe, both teams battling hard, both teams giving it their all. Art Custom Homes scored late into the second half to make it a 4-4 game, and took the game to overtime. But Gallows won their 4th straight, scoring quickly in overtime. And our Custom Homes, with the point, put themselves in a tie for the final playoff spot. A big difference for a team that didn't have a win a few weeks ago. So it looks like they're turning it around. They're getting on the right track. But Gallo and Company remains in second, just 1 point behind All India for the lead for the whole league. So this was really a game of one of the top teams versus probably the bottom team. But
they're on the rise, though.
They're on the rise. It looked like they actually gave it a really hard effort. And it didn't look like, if you looked at the game, if you looked at the result, it didn't really look like a top team versus a bottom team. It looked like 2 equals. Exactly.
If you didn't know the standing, you would have thought they're both top teams.
Right.
Because as we've been talking about both teams for a while now. We've been saying we're going to talk about Art Custom Home differently in a few weeks than we are. And we've been saying Gallows on the rise. And, man, Art Custom Home, man, they've been proving they can play against anybody.
Right.
Like, their compete level is very high. They're led by a great captain in Sukman Thin. They have talent. They fought to the death. And they got a point that was huge for them against a team that's won their 4th straight, man. Gallows, I've been hyping them up for a while, man. Gallows, to me, is the best team in the league. No offense to All India. They're the deepest team in the league to me. Deep Sangha, their captain, was huge. Every time Art Custom Home came with something, he responded, scoring 2 goals. Sonny Kara's leading the league in points. Jazz Sadra, 13 points this year. They're deep. They have a strong defense. And Art Custom Home on the other side, man, their captains, he grabbed them this week.
Right.
Every time they need something, he made a play.
Showed some leadership.
30 seconds left in the game. He was the one that tied it. It was a major point. I got to shout out Noni Mon, too, has 6 goals in 3 games.
That's insane.
6 goals in 3 games, man. I think he only had 2 goals all last season. He's bounced back strong. They're a good team. And Gallows is a team I feel like you have to watch out for.
Yeah, for our Customs home, they're gelling at the right time. They made the trade. It's all coming together for them. From the goalie onto the forwards. They have Arjun. They have 2 great centers that took him in. They have wingers, Walkis, guys like JJ, Gurman, Saw. They're coming. They're looking to get into that middle of the pack and possibly even more. It only takes a couple games to get momentum in the PBHL. It's coming together for them. And for Gallo, yeah, we talk about their deep team. They go at least 4 deep on D-man. In the D-man, they have 3 great players up there with depth. It's a dangerous team. I can't say they're the best team in the league, but they're up there. Them in all India, they're fighting for that number 1 spot.
Right.
For me, I'm a stick with it, man. I think Gallows right now 4 wins straight. I think they're the best team in the league. Yeah.
Well, it looks like Gallows and Company found a way to grind it out, and no pun intended. And let's move on to the PBHL Game of the Week. This week's Game of the Week featured first place All India. First place.
Hey, I've been hyping them every week. I
First place All
I
India.
respect them. They're a great team. I'm not saying. I'm saying the battle is going to be between Gallo and All India till the end. Man.
All right. I'll give you a chance.
Big man's gonna have some backlash in the bar.
He is. He's gonna get
obviously they got LeVar Ball.
I can think
team,
of one
man.
person.
Of course, I'm
going to.
Correct.
So this week's Game of the Week featured All India versus Eyes on 34th, and what a game it was. It's time for Biggie's breakdown.
Yeah. Honestly, man, this shit was insane. It was just insane. It started off slow in the first, basically, period, the first half and half the second period. It was 1 goal. Candy Sandhu, the new addition, scored to make it 1-0 for Eyes. 12-18 mark. That's when it changed in the second half.
Okay.
All India tied it. Still felt like it was going to be a grinded out game. But the top line for Eyes was like, no, fuck that. They came back within a minute 18, scored 2 goals. Candy Sandhu the second. A good friend of mine, a guy I've known since junior high, Amir Baines, scoring a beauty top shelf. Jimmy Sidhu getting points on both of them. Another guy I've known for a long time. It went a little deeper in the game. All India got one back from Goldie Kinda. A beautiful goal. Jammed it in. When I mean beautiful, I mean Ryan Smith beautiful. But it was a good play. He was in there. Rob Yaka took the shot. He got the rebound and he put it in. Jimmy responded right away, making it 4-2. It looked like the game was over, but it wasn't. Anup Sahota, who we talked about in deep last week,
right,
who I think will be one of the finalists for the Players of the Year. A beautiful effort, splitting the D. Buried a goal, making it 4-3. And then it looked like Eyes on 34th was about to cost himself the game. Candy Sandhu took a bad penalty. Candy, you know I love you, but it was a dumb penalty. He took it.
The captain gets kicked out.
28 seconds later, the captain gets kicked out. Literally 15 seconds after that, to take another penalty. All India probably has the best power play in the league. They scored 2 times. Navi G, that guy's shot is unreal. He buried the first one. Nav Kinda put one top shelf. They basically took the lead. After being down the whole game, took the lead with 1:08 left.
Yeah.
Off the ensuing face-off, Kanwar Sandhu, 4 seconds later, takes a shot from basically half and scores.
That's insane.
5-5. We're looking at overtime. 6 seconds left. All India turns it over. Jimmy Sidhu, who has hockey sense comparable to anybody in this league, walks in, makes a pass to Amir Baines, who has a shot comparable to anybody in this league. Buries it top shelf, 2 seconds left. Give Eyes on 34th a big 2 points, snaps their 3-game losing streak, keeps them in a playoff spot. Great game, great effort. I'm going to talk about 3 guys later in the show, so I'm not going to mention them now, but Eyes, man, props. Props on this win.
Do you think it was a game of the year so far?
Oh yeah, 100%. It was. Like that last...
Back and forth.
Like, look what I just explained, right? Like, it was insane.
That was too much, man.
Yeah, it like...
I was getting ready for my game, just watching it was crazy.
It set the pace for the whole week, man. it was an insane game for sure.
Eyes needed the win. They were pumped after that big W. You can tell they were excited about themselves. They knew that it was a big win. They got it done.
All right, 2 big points in the standings leaves Eyes on 34th in 7th place. So we're going to look at the PBHL standings weeks after week 9. All India is still in first place at 14 points. Gallows and Company in second at 13 points. Dillon Insurance at third at 12 points. Fancy Doors and Moldings and Pizza 38 are tied with 11 points each. Vacuums R Us comes in 6th place with 10 points. Eyes on 34th and 7th with 9, keeping themselves in that position after that big win. Henry Singer comes in 8th with 7 points, tied with Art Custom Homes, also with 7 points, but on the outside looking in. And finally, Go Kia South rounds out the top 10, which are the only 10 teams in the league, at 6 points. Who's your weekly sports report rookie of the week? Biggie.
Goes 2 guys, man. Same team. Dillon Insurance, man. They had one of their players have to step in net for their injured goalie, Milan Sahani. I hope I'm saying that right. He played great in net, man. Guy knows that he played against him. He was a backup, performed. I watched him play. He looked pretty good. I'm glad to shout him out. And then the guy I've known, I hate that I keep saying I've known people since junior high. But another
so
guy,
don't say it next time.
Another guy I've known
Come up
for
with
a long
something
time.
else. I can know this guy 20 years. I know this guy 5.
Fine. Mr. Tight Shirts wears the tightest shirts in PBHL. Saneet Monge, man, a goal and assist. He helped his team get the win.
It's different than knowing
Shout
him
out to
since
the
junior high.
Capitals. This Saneet Monge.
Oh, he plays for you guys, eh?
Oh, he plays for the Capitals.
Does he wear extra tight shirts then too?
Pretty sure.
Yeah.
They're
So
in the
shout
playoff
out
race
to
too.
him for the 2 points and the extra tight shirts that nobody wants to see.
Okay. So aside from your rookies of the week, who are your players this week?
I'm giving it to a whole line, Anis.
Oh, wow.
This line combined for 10 points. They were in on every goal their team scored. We talked about them in the game of the week. They combined for 10 points. Kanwar Sandhu had a hat-trick. Amir Bains, 2 goals and 1 assist. Jimmy Sidhu, 1 goal, 3 assists. They carried their team to a win, a much-needed win. It was a great performance, man. It was good to see. I got to give an extra shout-out to fucking Jimmy, man. One of the most underrated players in the league. That guy's hockey sense and IQ is very high. He's playing with a sniper and Amir, and they've been performing all year, man. So shout out to those guys.
Excellent. The back-to-backs continue this week. Your Week 10 schedule on Saturday at 12 p.m. features Eyes on 34th versus Go Kia South. At 1 p.m., Dillon Insurance takes on Vacuums R Us. At 2, Henry Singer plays Pizza 38. At 3 p.m., Art Custom Homes takes on All India. And at 4 p.m., Fancy Doors and Moldings match up against Gallows and Company. On Sunday, which would be week 11, at 12 p.m., Fancy Doors and Moldings versus All India. At 1 p.m., Art Custom Homes take on Eyes on 34th. At 2 p.m., Pizza 38 matches up against Dillon Insurance. At 3 p.m., Go Kia South will play Vacuums R Us. And at 4 p.m., Henry Singer's go head-to-head against Gallo and Company. What are your short takes on the matchup, you guys? What do you think?
Man, it's huge because some of these teams can't afford to lose, man. They just can't. They for sure can't afford to go 0-2. They have to split it 1-1.
Getting down to the nitty-gritty, are we?
Yeah, it's like, it feels that way. It feels like this is the week where you can kind of sense which teams are going to make the playoffs and which team won't. There's some big matchups. There's some tough matchups for our boy Grind here. They have a tough game against Buddy guys who are coming off the game of the week and getting their star player Sim back. They play us. We're in a good state of mind. It's going to be a tough game. But even Fancy as well. They play the top 2 teams. They're trying to get back in that upper echelon race. They win those 2 games. they're right up there, and they can go for that potential buy spot.
A couple games that stick out this weekend are Eyes on 34th versus Go Kia. Playoff implications on the line. And week 11, which is Sunday, I think our Customs home and Eyes on 34 should also be a interesting weekend game. That's playoffs right there. Our Custom Homes need some W's. Go Kia needs some wins. Everybody in the PBHL is looking for a W or two this weekend.
Good stuff, guys. Nobody in the league can afford to drop 2 points, because if you drop 2 points, you're dropping a position or two.
Oh, we had to do one more thing. We have a group of good friends here that started their playoffs in the other league today. Regime. So we gotta shout them out, man. Best wishes. Win the championship. Bring it home. If you guys win it, we'll bring you all on the podcast. How about that, Anis?
I'd be down for that.
Yeah.
Sure.
Grind's on the team. Grind, how'd you guys do today?
We won 7-4.
Yeah.
Just got to get another one to get to the finals.
Oh, there we go, man. You guys are one step away.
One win away.
And good luck to everybody else who's in there.
It's not even about the trophy. It's about coming on the podcast, man. You work hard.
Good luck, everybody.
Great. Excellent, you guys. Thanks very much for listening. That's it for this week. You can always reach us at report_weekly on Twitter. Follow us. Tweet at us. Let us know your thoughts. If we missed anything, tweet at us. Let us know. And we'll talk to you guys soon. Thanks for listening. Take care.